Known point monuments like these are great for a project because they last really long, they don't move, and you have a much better chance of maintaining the exact same control when you set up throughout the whole life of the project. That's why I highly recommend you make these. Sometimes you're not going to have any other place to build a known point monument except on the building pad, and that's what we're going to build in this video. These need to be very strong, highly visible, and barricaded with tape so that they look important and people will not run them over. That hole is about 0.010 of an inch bigger than this ring. So you get the same shot every single time. These take about 15 minutes to make, but they're going to save you a lot of time in the long run. So let's go ahead and get started. Here's what you're going to need to make this: a sledgehammer, a drill, a knife, screws, a prism card, 2-hole conduit clips for 1/8 inch conduit, reinforced barricade tape, a saw, 2x4, 3 pieces of rebar, number 4 or number 5, about 2 to 3 feet long, 4 pieces of rebar, about 1 foot long, spray paint, and rebar caps. Alright, the first thing you're going to do is cut a piece about this long with a point on the end of it. And then just hammer it in the ground. It doesn't have to be that far in because the rebar is going to hold it in. So now we're going to put 3 pieces of rebar. It needs to be 3, and they're all going to go in at different angles. This ground's pretty hard, might take a while. Then we're going to take one of these clips. It's actually a 1/8 inch conduit clip, 2 screws, and I'm going to screw this to it. So here, actually, I'm going to move this to this side so you can see. The only reason I decided to move that piece of wood over is so that you can see what I'm about to do. You'll be able to see me screw the piece of rebar to the wood using the clip. So at first it's going to be a little flimsy, but as soon as you put the third one on, it gets super strong. I think these are 1.25" decking screws. I'm not sure the exact length, but they look like 1.25". And that's going to really hold the rebar to the wood. This doesn't have to be perfectly flat or plumb. I mean, it doesn't really matter that much. I mean, try and make it as flat as you can, but it's not a big deal. All right, so the next one is going to be going this way, and then the last one will go like that. go. We'll get another clip and 2 screws. All right, and then the last one. As soon as you get that third one in, it really holds it tight. And kind of hammer around it. That holds it really tight. Now we're going to spray paint the whole thing, and then we'll put this on. This is the Prism card. And use a lot of paint so people don't run it over. You want people to think it's really important. You want it to glow. You put so much paint on it. All right, now we'll screw this on there. There's 2 pre-drilled holes on this Prism card. And the Prism card's designed for a 2x4. All right, that's on there good. That's not going anywhere. But we still need to put up a barricade about this big, all the way around it with rebar, with caps on top, and a barricade tape, and barricade tape all the way around it. And the barricade tape should be this reinforced stuff. It'll last way longer. That caution tape stuff, after a couple weeks, the wind blows it around, it rips, and it's floating around everywhere, and people think, oh, they might not. And people think they must not need this anymore because it's all falling apart. And then they'll run it over. So, you want to make sure you get this strong stuff. The reason these are short is so that your tape is lower than your Prism. If it's up here, then you might be shooting through your tape if your instrument's over there. So we'll keep the tape lower. You'll still be able to see the barricade, and it won't get in the way of your instrument. This barricade needs to be far enough away so that whoever's driving a dump truck or whatever is going to get as close as they can to this. So if you don't have anything, they'll drive right here. But if you have this, they'll drive right up next to this, and it won't push this out of the way. Just tape this to it. And then pull this tight so that it's flat. So you got good visibility with it. Pull it again, tight, make it flat, make sure it's not twisted. Cut it. Now the rebar caps. So nobody gets hurt. I like to use rebar instead of wood stakes. It's easier to hammer them in. And I don't know, they're just stronger. Now the last thing you do would just be go around and put a big number here. This could be like known point number 1. And that's it. You're done. And this will last a really long time, and it's right here, easy to get to, and you just stick your prism right in that hole. It's in the exact same spot every single time you set up, and it's awesome.